Straight out the boot room to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer, no, we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one and one for all. Pass a move, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. If you are watching on YouTube, please drop us a subscribe to the channel, and if you're listening on anywhere you get your podcast, do drop us a little rating there just to help boost us up them charts. Let's talk about last night, shall we? Because wow, from minute one it was domination. Like you wouldn't think it was Real Madrid that turned up. If you had just turned on the telly and seen the red kit and seen the white kit, you thought we were playing fucking Swansea. We were fucking brilliant. Just everyone from the first minute, just absolutely spectacular. Deserved more than 2 goals, frankly. Just yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, people will still try and discredit us a bit. Oh, the players they had out, who gives a fuck? It's Real Madrid. You're not playing for Real Madrid if you're not a fucking world class footballer. So simple as, like, we deserved it. Full stop.
When you read the injury list out of theirs the other day, and I was laughing, thinking, fucking hell, if they got left, and then you see him Bellingham and Mbappe and Modric and fucking hell, Camavinga and all that, you're just like, wow, these are an absolute belter team, even with loads missing. So when I seen their actual team, and then I looked at our injury list, and I was like, yeah, we've got Jota out, Trent out, Alisson out. You know, we've had our own injuries. We've got no backup left back. So, yeah, it was a clash of the Titans. You know, I wouldn't go as far as saying it was like playing Swansea in terms of how they played. I just think we made them look like that. But there was always... The beauty of that type of footy match is that, you know, no matter how hard you try, how many shots you have, they're always capable of nicking a goal. And there were times where they did look pretty good themselves, and it was a little bit like, fucking hell, if they turn it on here, it's a bit scary, but we just dealt with them over and over again. Every time they tried to make something happen, we took it off them. We worked harder on them. We wanted it more than them. Our fans wanted it more than them. The atmosphere throughout the whole club last night was just fucking electric, and it made its way onto the pitch, and you know, sometimes it's a tackle instead of a shot that gets you going, and it was a fucking tackle, lad, let me tell you. But yeah, every single one of them. I think, you know, we'll go through it properly. First half, there was a few players I thought could have done a little bit more to grind the gears a little bit, to get us ticking a little bit faster and a little bit better. But second half, and then the whole performance overall was just absolute magic. I didn't want half time to come in the end. It was a fucking joy to watch. And yeah, credit to every single player who stepped on the pitch. They were magnificent.
Yeah, I think for me, the only one who struggled a little bit, and I say struggle in the context of that, I mean, he probably only had like a 6 or a 7 out of 10, whereas the rest were like 8s and 9s, was Diaz. I didn't think he was quite as effective as the others up front, but it's not to say he had a bad game, it's just he was the sort of notable, the one that you noticed wasn't having quite as good of a game as the others, but again, you know, little things here and there. Like I think overall the performance was just very good from right throughout. You know, there's questions on Robertson. Again, I mean, but I'm not gonna. You know, I don't think it's fair to dig him out on it for the penalty decision. Yeah, I mean, he's been a bit rash again to give the penalty away, but again, overall, his performance completely outshone that one mistake, because that literally was the only thing he done wrong. And just fortunate for us, we've got an absolute fucking superstar in goal called fucking Quaveen Kelleher, the fucking Cork Cassius. We're fortunate we've got him. So yeah, that was the only blemish on the night, which hasn't actually cost us.
Yeah, I'll agree, lad. Robbo was sensational. Thought he was absolutely brilliant. He done well with players he had to put himself up against. We know he's not as fast anymore, and he's a little bit yard behind the pace sometimes, but he just doesn't falter. He just doesn't tire. He doesn't give in. He's just relentlessly trying for the team. And you can't ask any more than that. The penalty was fucking ludicrous. He steps over him and he just whacks him with his other leg. I don't know what's gone through his head to do it, but it's bizarre that up steps Mbappe and I didn't shudder. I just didn't see the ball going into the net. I don't know why. Obviously, we know how good Keller is at penalties, but I thought if they score, we'll go down the other end and score again anyway. I just wasn't phased. It wasn't like, we discussed the other day. I was saying rest a few players, and as long as we've got a team to beat them and concentrate on City. And then yesterday, I was so excited. Like, obviously, I usually go to the match or go out for it. I was sat in ours with the fire on with a cup of tea, taking it all in, listening to all the talk, and just enjoying the spectacle that it was. And it was brilliant. I thought, when they were, as I say, when they were on the ball, you could see they were a big team, and the commentators were willing something to happen. They wanted Mbappe to absolutely roast Bradley, and that's what made Bradley's performance even better, because everyone in the world, barring Liverpool fans, was expecting him to get absolutely torn apart and his career ended and tied up in knots. And we knew what we were to expect from him. I didn't expect much from Mbappe. It didn't scare me when I seen him on the wing. Don't get me wrong, he is world class on his day, but sometimes fucking hard work and determination outshines world class. And alongside being world class, Conor Bradley, he's also got the hard work and determination. So yeah, it was just a fucking beautiful night.
Yeah, and credit to Bradley as well, because I think Southampton, he didn't have a very good game. And, you're thinking coming into the Madrid game, knowing he's likely up against Mbappe, you have... it's going up against Mbappe, so you think he's going to have a hard time anyway. And then he doesn't have the greatest game against Southampton. You sort of... little doubts creep in a little bit, and then he puts in a performance like that, and just shuts everyone up. But I think last night was a special night for our academy in general. I said it last night. I think our three best players on the pitch were our academy players and McAllister. But I think, Kelleher, Jones, who I thought was absolutely fucking magnificent, and Bradley were the three that stood out for me more than... It's hard to say they stood out more than anyone else, because they didn't, but they're the ones, I don't know, we're always sentimental with the ones who come through our academy, aren't we? And so when they do well, you notice them more, I think.
Well, I'll be honest, lad. I said at half time, I thought Jones was killing our game a little bit. Thought he was slowing everything down way too much when there was chances where he could have broke. He was a bit cautious, but that's how we play now. He's been told to do that, so I can't really ridicule him. But it was frustrating me every time I thought play one touch pass, he'd do his little turn that he does and head back towards our goal or sideways. Was just a bit cautious. Diaz wasn't involved enough. I said that, and I actually phoned me dad at that time, and I said the only player who was really struggling for me was McAllister, because he was just like Bambi on ice. He just kept falling over and sliding in and missing. They were going on the break, and then straight away, my dad phoned me back saying, "You just took him off, you dickhead." So that's the beauty of it. I think, as I say, if you split the two halves, some players had half decent halves and then great second halves, but overall, the performance from every single one of them merited the win, and couldn't knock any of them. Obviously the academy, seeing Jones doing well, and he just grew into the game the second half. He does one thing where it goes well for him, and his confidence, like trebles, and he's ready to get on the ball then, and he's happy to try and skip past players and go forwards, and that's the player he is. We need to see more of him doing that, because he's brilliant on his day. Kelleher, don't even have to mention him anymore. He's just Kelleher. You're feeling safe hands every time the ball goes towards our goal. You wouldn't know Alisson wasn't playing, and that's the highest credit I can give him. When the ball goes 1-on-1 against Alisson, when we've had keepers like Karius and Mignolet and fucking David James, and at the end like Pepe Reina, it's a goal. You put your hands over your eyes and you just hope for the best. With these, I don't bat an eyelid. I just think he's saving that, and it's the exact same with Kelleher now. I have every little bit of confidence that whoever's through on goal, 9 times out of 10, he's going to save it, and it's credit to him. He's working hard, he's knuckled down, And I made a comment yesterday that for me, Alisson doesn't just walk straight back into that team. He's got to wait for Kelleher to get injured or have an absolute nightmare before he steps foot on the pitch for us again. Because I just think it's unjust to Kelleher to just take him back out the team.
I do agree with you, and I did like the status that you put on Twitter about it. But like they showed the stats between them both on Sky Sports News earlier today, and like Alisson does still haven't beaten every metric. It's crazy. Like, it's, don't get me wrong, the gap between them isn't huge. But it's mad. Like, I think they showed like goals conceded in they were only showing Premier League, but goals conceded, it was like 6 for Kelleher in 6 and 2 for Alisson in 6. Like, Alisson's got a better save percentage, a better pass completion rate, a better expected goals denied and shit like that. Like, it is astonishing. Like, no, and this is the
Alisson's
thing,
a
no,
better goalie.
no, he is, but this is the thing that's so astonishing about it is the stats for Alisson are so fucking out of this world. Kelleher's stats would probably be top 5 in the world, you know what I mean? And Alisson is just that level above. But I do agree with you on merit, on form, and just the overall team form. Yeah, I agree that Kelleher should keep his place in the team until necessary.
Yeah, that's what like people are getting it the wrong way. Like, I'm saying Kelleher's better than Alisson, and that's Alisson done or whatever. It's not at all. Just on merit, what deserves to happen now is Kelleher has worked his way into the team. If Alisson was fit and was doing the same as Kelleher, then Kelleher has to wait.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. Now, Alisson's been out for a long period of time. Again, Kelleher's come in and saved our skin a number of times. Big, important saves. And we are where we are largely because of him as well, because he's made saves in games we withdraw and we've gone on to win. So he deserves to keep his place because he hasn't done a fucking thing wrong. Now, if he kept making mistakes and we were still winning, you'd say, you know what, can't wait for Alisson to get back, because that just takes us that step further to be in a better outfit. But like for like now, I don't think if you bring Alisson in, he does much different than Kelleher. The team doesn't benefit. This defence are now confident in Kelleher. They're playing a style where they all understand each other. And I just think it's stupid to break up a winning team for the sake of it.
And as you said, we done it last season, didn't we? I think, was it the Atlanta game at home? And I think we brought 4 players back from injury or something like that.
Yeah, 3 or 4 players back,
and obviously got fucking demolished.
And that's the problem, is that, you know, is Trent better than Conor Bradley? Yeah, he is. He's a better footballer. He's a better all-round player. He's world class. But Conor Bradley, the way he played last night, the way he's played for 2 years, he's not just a little stepping stone to come in when required. You know what I mean? He's challenging Trent for that right back position. We said it last season as well. Like, there was times last season where when Trent wasn't playing, you felt a bit more comfortable at the back, and you felt like you got a little bit more hard work out of Conor Bradley. So for that reason, if he wasn't injured, which he is, but I'd have just went to Man City. Obviously they're at home. I'd have played Man City with the same team, barring a few tweaks for fitness reasons. But I just think at this moment we're absolutely steamrolling ahead. We're like a steam train. Don't fucking empty it of its coal because there's a few names back. Just let it keep rolling, keep going and going and going until it burns out. And when it does, then you've got world-class players to come in to help us. But until we need them, just leave it be. Don't fucking fix something that's not broke.
Yeah. No, I agree. It like you said, it's not a case of who's better, and who's not. It's a case of these lads are playing well. Why would you take them out the team? And I think, you know, if it was a case of like we were, you know, if it was, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a right back from years ago that we've had. If it was Javi Manquillo, let's say, who was playing well and replacing Trent, the drop off's enormous there to them. So you go, yeah, he's been playing well, but as soon as Trent's back, he's back. The drop off from Trent to Bradley isn't big enough for it to be a straight right. Trent, you've been training for 1 day, back in the side. It's not. And the same with Kelleher and Alisson, the drop off isn't big enough for it to just be a case of nice one, Quivine, see you later.
That's exactly my point. That the way you've worded it's perfect. Is the drop off isn't that, like, that big that you just swerve them, and that's exactly right. They're doing a great job. There's no need to change them unless it's completely necessary. And as I say, if the form does drop a little bit and you start seeing holes in them and things need to change, then you make them changes, and that's what your squad's for. And they go back to being massive parts of the squad, but not quite starters. But based on merit and based on form, them lads deserve to be playing. It's like still dickheads wanting the number 6 in January because that's what they've always wanted. But whoever comes in is not getting in over Gravenberg. 100%.
Well, no,
there's not a player out there who can do what he's doing at the minute. The way he's turning from a defensive position to an attacking position, getting us on the front foot, but then still winning the ball back. My nerves were shot yesterday when he got that yellow card because I was just waiting for him or Nunes to be sent, but not to be. But yeah. I think the form they're all in, it'd be absolutely fucking ludicrous to take any of them out if in a game you want to win.
Yeah, no, and you're right, you know, and no, I don't think a number 6 is as big of a problem now as it was in the summer when we didn't know we were about to get this fucking version of Ryan Gravenberg. Because as I don't know if you're onto that LB on Twitter, but as he says, when you're the greatest midfielder walking the planet at the moment, that's he might be, but like that's the kind of confidence he's playing with at the minute. You know what I mean? He's just, and you know what I said a few weeks ago, and no one actually slated for me. No one actually slated me for it. Sorry, and he should have done. I said he reminded me a bit of Pogba. When he was at Juve. I know you were the only one. I'm surprised no one else did though. You let downs every one of you. Now, when he was at Juventus, the trust, as I was saying, like similar, you know, frames and stuff like that. But you know, he's really starting to remind me of more and more. If he was fit, was Thiago. Like you're seeing all these little deft touches and the way he's able to just pick a pass out and not. And like I think he's really starting to improve that side of his game. Like I just think he's so elusive. The way he turns, the way he's able to pick the ball up on the turn and all that. Like Thiago was the master at it, except he didn't have the pace to carry the ball the way Gravenberg does. It's like you got Wijnaldum and fucking Thiago in one.
Yeah, he's a mix of a load of like big gangly players. He's just at but like there's times where I see him where he does that turn and strides into midfield, and he just reminds me of Vieira.
Yeah.
But he's not as harsh in his tackling. He's a little bit more calculated. So that's where he reminds me of Wijnaldum, because he sort of nicks the ball. He doesn't like overexpose himself or slide in. He calculates it where his percentage of getting it's like 90%, and he goes for it, takes it off your toes, and we're away. But the confidence he's got to receive the ball with his back. There was a point yesterday where there's 3 players around him, and he's gone in between the 3 of them without touching the ball. He's just let it run through, and he chucked the 3 of them out the game. And there is times you're just in awe of it, and you're like, do you know what? Where's this lad come from? But when we signed him and people were putting him down, we had the same conversation. He was 21, 22, brilliant at Ajax, never really got a chance at Munich, didn't play in a system that fitted him, didn't really get used to his talents at us under Klopp. And Arne Slot's seen something different in him, and he's thriving, lad. And it's not like a few weeks of fluke where he's playing against shite and he's looking a bit good. He's growing and growing and growing, and I think for me he's the first name on the team sheet at the moment. Got to just keep him fit and safe.
Did you see the press conference after the game yesterday? They were talking about Gravenberg with Slot, and they asked him like there's been I think I don't know if there's been comparisons between him and Tony Kroos, and he said, do you think he's got it in his locker to be the next Tony Kroos? And he went, no, because he's Dutch and not German. Just walked off. But like they are the type of comparisons his performances are deserving with the likes of your Tony Kroos's and like, you know, your Vieiras and some of the best midfielders that have ever graced the game. Like he's obviously, I'm not saying he's on par with them, but his performances this season have been out of this world. Like he genuinely has been the best midfielder in the Premier League this season by a comfortable margin, in my opinion.
Was it Van der Vaart who said he's better all round than Bellingham?
Yeah, probably.
So he said that. He said that when Bellingham was coming on the scene at the same time as him, and he said it again recently. But obviously that's a big, massive comparison. But all the hype's been on Bellingham. Gravenberg's got no hype. He's come in and done his job. Now, don't get me wrong, there was times yesterday where Bellingham showed little spells of what he's about, but again, he got out-battled and he got bullied and he got threw off the ball, and, you know, there's players that need to dig in when the talent isn't quite working. They've got to show a little bit more hard work, and the likes of him and Mbappe and that just don't seem to have it. That bit of grit when the going is getting tough and you've got to fight for wins. I don't think they've got it. Mbappe lost the ball about 5 times yesterday. All good doing his little step overs and cutting in on inside and that every now and again, but without the ball, mate, he's absolutely fucking useless.
Yeah, he is.
And I think he's the most overrated player on the planet, because like the fucking wage he's on and all the hype of his move and all that, PSG will be fucking delighted he's gone.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, you know, I think we're starting to see his level. He's still a good player, obviously, but like as we're seeing on Twitter not so long ago, we're starting to see how good he actually is when the keepers have got arms. So it's mad. But no, I mean, I'll be honest, I forgot Bellingham was playing. I didn't hear his name until the 30th minute of the game.
Not again, like, he was quiet.
If you would have told me right now that he never played, I'd believe you.
But then even that way, I think he's brought McAllister down. He's just hooking his legs everywhere to try and make some sort of contact. He just looked out of his depth. And again, Anfield's got that ability to do that to world-class players. I don't doubt for a minute that Bellingham is going to go down as one of the best midfielders. But he's got to dig in a little bit more. And, you know, when the Liverpool crowds are booing you, I don't know whether it was because he never signed for us or because he's trying to shag Trent, but whatever it was, I think it got to him. And do you know what? People give him loads of shit like he's a big, you know, one of them drama queens and it's all about him and all that. I just don't get that from him. I think he comes across as that humble, decent lad. Seen him.
I think he used to. I don't think he does as much anymore.
He just the way he speaks after the game and that, and you give all the credit to Anfield, you give all the credit to Liverpool, and you can't knock that, to be fair. So fair play to him for that.
No, you can't. But for me, it's the way he acts on the pitch. The way he acts on the pitch is like he's the center of attention. He's the main man, and like he's 21, and he's telling senior players what to do and all that, and he'll have a go at senior players, and it's he's got it. It's like he's acting in his head, like it's his world, and we're all just living in it.
See, I don't see that. I think certain people have got a bit of an agenda against him, whereas I don't see that. When I've seen him play for England, I don't see that. And he looks like very much like a team player. I know when he left Dortmund, apparently their players said the same as you, that they were quite happy that he was gone because it's all about him. But I just don't see that part of him. I just see a young player who knows his ability, who gets a bit pissed off when the players around him are expected to perform and they don't. Because, like, imagine playing with someone of the hype of Mbappe who can't run back to the halfway line to put a tackle in when he's lost the ball. I'd end up like Pep Guardiola, lad, scratching my own eyes out. But yeah, I say it's not about Bellingham. Fuck Bellingham, the little brummy cunt. It's about Liverpool making him look exactly what he was yesterday, shite, and Mbappe, shite. Yeah, we were just absolutely fantastic, and it was, you know, I said before it, I'd love to see us go and blitz them 4-0. I think on another day it could have been 6.
Yeah, easy.
The attacks we had from early on, the Núñez one where it's been paddied out, that was a little bit like the Barcelona goal, the first goal where it's been saved and you're waiting for someone to tap it in and here we go, it's on. Not to be. Then the header from Núñez, world class. To even get that bend on it, to get it past the keeper the way he did and flick back in towards goal was out of this world. It deserved the goal. That
it did, but there's no way he was shooting there.
I think he was.
No, he was trying to put it into speed. He was just nodding it across, lad.
Disagree. He's
not a chance.
And he's headed it. And
not a chance. He's fallen over and everything, lad. He hasn't meant that at all.
Yeah, he's fucking jumped as high as he can.
He's jumped backwards. He didn't mean it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
So the one he's missed, the one that's just hit the keeper again. It always seems to happen to Núñez where the keeper's right on top of him as he shoots. So I don't think he could have done anything about that.
No, he couldn't have done.
I thought he was the run he made to the middle. Early on, Salah won the ball back, goes to Núñez from the halfway line to the edge of their box. I thought he was fucking brilliant last night, and he never really got anything for it. I felt sorry for him that he come off for Gakpo, and he ends up on the score sheet. But again, Núñez is playing with his head high. I don't think goals and assists are are getting to him too much. He's heavily involved in all our attacks, and again, for me, he's the starting forward now as well.
I think the thing is with him, because he got that yellow card, he couldn't be as involved as he wanted to as the game went on. And obviously, if he's the one, if there's anyone who's going to snap at something and get a second yellow, it was going to be him. So taking him off when we did was the right choice.
Twice, lad. He went across the same player twice.
Yeah,
brought them down on the halfway line, and he should have probably went, to be honest. But
yeah, but that, I mean, like I say, it was always going to be him. But I mean, Gakpo coming in again, what he's been doing all season, hasn't been getting. It doesn't seem as many chances as some of the others, and you know he's performing every time he plays at the minute. The switch, him on the left and Diaz going through the middle again, seemed to be a nice change. And to be honest, I think that's the one position where I'm a bit is always 50-50. I think is left wing, whether it's Diaz or whether it's Gakpo, because I think they're both playing very well at the moment. They're both contributing a lot, and whoever plays I think is very good there at the minute.
My problem with it is I feel like they're both better off the bench, and it's hard. I think they're both impact players. I think Gakpo, when he starts, I don't think he's hardly involved in the play at all. It's like he doesn't want to be out there, but when he comes on, the ball straight to him. He's turning in, putting the ball into the box. He just changes the game a little bit. She puts a different dynamic to it. Diaz, again, when he starts, he gets on the ball. He's not really beating a man. He's cutting back and then passing it backwards. Bring him on off the bench, and he's skinning 3 players and making his way into the 6-yard box. But again, it's a different game, isn't it? Where he breaks through yesterday and he has that shot and puts it wide. If that goes in, then you see world-class Diaz. And these conversations aren't being had, so it is just looking for on the day.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy for Gakpo again. He works hard when he comes on, and he is contributing a lot from the bench this season. So it's a nice problem to have. Obviously, the two sort of unfortunate notes to come out of the game is obviously the injuries with Bradley and Konate. I don't think anything else has been said about Konate's just yet, but the rumour is it's not as bad as it looked. And it's mad because Bradley's didn't look as bad. He looked all right after the game, and now apparently he's going to be out for December.
I know.
That's what Paul Joyce has said anyway. That's the fear, at least anyway.
See, again, saying about Bradley, if Trent's fit and can stay fit, and then you've got Gomez to utilise the right back option, it's not that bad at all, to be honest, because Trent would have made his way back into the starting 11 anyway.
Yeah.
My point is that he shouldn't have just walked back in, but yeah,
no, I agree.
Simple as Trent's going to be playing. Gomez is a backup. That's fine. Konate, bit different. If he's out, then you might need to utilise Gomez between him and Quansah. We both know at the minute Quansah's got no confidence. When he's come on, he's conceded goals. He's made mistakes to concede goals, or he's just been up against it. So I think for me, the starting centre half is Gomez, and then you've got Trent, and then you've got Quansah as backup. But on paper, the squad doesn't look that great, and then you see them play, and you're just like, fucking hell, this is heavy. And that's the beauty of our team. There's no one expects much when you see the team fielding up against the likes of Real Madrid and that. You're seeing Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch and Conor Bradley, and out of date Andy Robbo. Do you know what I mean? All this shit, and you're like, oof, this is going to be tough. And then we just turn it on, and we're just like we've never been away.
Yeah,
back to being world class again, and that's the beauty of our squad. Very little expectation and loads of output. So we've just got to keep it going like that, lad, and don't put too much pressure on them and enjoy this ride because it's a fucking roller coaster.
Obviously, next game in the Champions League anyway. McAllister misses it, getting another yellow there last night. So, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But I think, I don't know who our other games are now except Girona, but I think our tough games are out the way now in the Champions League. And I think one more win in it will probably secure us through to the next round. So,
no, we're done, lads. I don't even know what the fixtures are. I can't see us. I think we'll start slowing down on that now. But so again,
3 more games. So I'd say 3 more games. Like if we can, I'd say next one will pretty much definitely put us through. So I think we'll go for that one properly, and then it'll be a case of rest players for what comes after that. So you got Girona on the 10th, and then the next two aren't till fucking January. So we've got Lille at home, and then PSV away in January. So
they're not easy games.
They're not easy, but they're not as difficult as what we've had already.
Yeah, the beauty of this format is that there isn't an easy game. So you could play someone at the bottom and they could need a win to go fucking 8.8 fucking places higher. And it's just the way it goes on the day. You know, we're seeing teams that we wouldn't expect to be in that. Them top places higher up than expected. So, yeah, I'm enjoying the format. Take every game as it comes. But I think we'll have to work through. If we don't get through, I'll fucking eat my own eyeballs.
No, I think it's more or less done. As I say, I think Slot will want to get it mathematically confirmed that we're through before he starts thinking about switching it up a bit for the final 2 games. But
to be honest, I don't even think he will. I think he's gonna. I feel like he's got his own little like agenda against every competition, and he wants to go out and prove that we can compete on
every front.
4 fronts, yeah. So go for them, and it's right. You know, we sit here a little bit nervy, like if he gets injured, you know what? We can't control any of that. We can't control. We could be getting beat 2-0 and then throw fucking Salah, Gravenberch, fucking everyone on, and they could get injured within 20 minutes. So we've just got to take every game, go as strong as we can, try and win every game, try and win every cup. But yeah, let's go over some fucking key moments, of that match. That beautiful match.
No, we're not even going to get to City at this rate.
No.
Like, I mean, I said it last night. Obviously, the Conor Bradley tackle was. You can go as far as saying it changed the game. I thought the crowd was fantastic last night, but I think even before the tackle went in, they were good. But as soon as that went in, that just changed everything. It changed the course of the game, and I think it gave Bradley a lot of confidence as well, because you see someone like Mbappe, who is rapid. He's got away from, I don't know if it was Kanate, he's got away from whoever was there with him, and then Bradley's matched his run and won the tackle the way he has. And then Mbappe didn't even try and go near him after he'd won it off him, you know what I mean? It was fantastic.
I thought when where Salah's nicked the ball off, I think it was Mbappe, took the ball off and Nunes has gone through the middle. That set a spark, and then Nunes' shot. The crowd started getting up then, and I felt like Bradley read the room and knew it would go up a notch if he'd done what he'd done. Because I actually think he didn't have to do that. I think he's done that by choice. I think he takes it off him if he stays on his feet, and he just walks past him. But he's gone in full throttle, made sure he's caught him and put him in the air, but by winning the ball as well. A fucking fantastic tackle, and that turned the screw for both the players on the pitch and the fans. It just become a cauldron then. And I think for that, I think if we'd have got a goal in that spell, I think we'd have absolutely fucking pulverised them. We'd have made a show of them in the scoreline. We just went at it then from that point on. Didn't want half time to come. And they were just going for it, and it was fucking boss to watch. But again, I actually loved the fact that if we would lose the ball, because there was a few times McAllister slid in and they just break with it, ball over the top, and you think, oh, he's going to get through here. The joy of seeing the likes of Bellingham and Mbappe, who you know can hurt you, and then crumble last second, it was just fucking brilliant, and that was all credit to Liverpool again.
Yeah. I think Slot said it before the game, you know, they were talking about the atmosphere and things like that, and he said, you know, yeah, we obviously want the crowd to be loud and be there with us kind of thing, but we have to turn up first for the crowd to turn up. And yeah, I think everything you said is right. They played off each other last night. Like, you know, people say it all the time, our crowd's like the 12th man. Like last night, it was very much the 12th man. Like everything they were doing was bouncing off the players, and everything the players were doing was going back into the stands kind of thing. It was one of them magical nights, and you'd be forgiven to think it was further in the competition with the atmosphere. It had the feel of a proper Anfield European night, which for the 5th game in the competition still in the in the early stages, in the group stages. Real Madrid have never lost 3 games at this stage of the competition, as well, which sort of upped the ante a little bit. But yeah, it was just a perfect night, I think. And for us to not beat them for 15 years, like to do it now was fantastic, and we owed them. We've said this for the last 4 or 5 years that we fucking owed them. But I just never thought for 1 minute that we were going to lose that match. As soon as it kicked off, you could just tell we were confident, and I just never had any worries about it whatsoever. Which the only other time I felt like that, to be honest, was Paris fucking when they won 1-0, because we absolutely fucking battered them then. And I never thought for a minute that they were going to score until they fucking scored, and then they didn't look like scoring after that as well, the cunts.
Well, that's what was in my mind, because I was looking at the percentage and the shots on target there, not the shot on target or at our goal, and then they went through, and I was thinking, here we fucking go again. They'll have one shot and beat us 1-0, and it just be against the run of play. Yeah, as you say, like it's a big, massive game because of the opponent, but the stage of the competition, it wasn't all that big based on where we're at. If we needed to win it to get through, then it was fucking massive. But it was just another game, but against the European giants, and you would never have known. But again, that's why I'm proper enjoying this format. I was dead set against it. Don't know why you'd change something that was working fine. But the beauty of it is that fucking literally, like you said the other day, teams are going from like winning 3 games and being second or third to losing 1 and then ending up 9th and 10th. It's dead close, it's dead good. But luckily for us, we're the runaway leaders of both leagues at the moment, and it doesn't look like anyone, whether you're fucking Real Madrid or Arsenal or Chelsea, Man United, no one's been able to stop us yet. So let's just fucking keep going.
And it's good that you said that, because the narrative keeps going around as well, doesn't it? Like, it keeps changing, the narrative with us. Start of the season, it was we were only ever good because of Klopp. Then when we started winning a few games, it was we're only doing this well because it's Klopp's team that we've inherited. It was they've got a massive 10 games coming up. We'll have to see where they are at the end of the 10 games. Now that we're about to piss this 10-game period and coming out fucking flying in every fucking capacity we can. We still haven't played anybody. We're playing everybody when they're at the worst period in time. Everyone's got injuries left, right, and centre, and we're just taking advantage of it. Like, we'll never get the credit we deserve. We could go on and piss fucking the league, and we could go and dog walk the fucking Champions League, and people will still say, yeah, but the keeper only had 1 leg in the final, so it doesn't really count. It's like, we'll never get the credit we deserve.
And that's lovely. I fucking enjoy it, because like that's the biggest compliment you can get in football. When everyone hates you, you're doing something right, and we're doing it right in a nice, humble way as well. Sometimes the fans aren't. Yeah, we will get in your fucking face because we're better than you. Get a grip, get over it. But things can change in footy, so we can't get too cocky too soon. But I remember back in January when the news broke about Jurgen Klopp leaving, and I got Evertonians messaging me. There was fucking videos. They were celebrating like they'd won the league because our manager was going. That was the end of Liverpool Football Club. We were finished. Nah, mate. It's in our DNA. If you can get the right manager at the right time to come in and carry the baton of who's been before, and it's happy days, and that's exactly what Arne Slot's doing. People have said before, hopefully it's the transition from Shankly to Paisley, and you couldn't get a closer comparison. You've got a nice you've got a fella who's come in who doesn't really want to talk much. He doesn't want to be your mate. He wants to just get the job done. He's a nice, humble fella who's going to give everything to the cause, like Bob Paisley. And it's just got that feeling that we're going to be feeling a little bit sorry for Jurgen Klopp eventually, because everything he put his work into and didn't get the success in total that he deserved. Arne Slot's going to come in and hopefully scoop the lot up, lad. And you can just see it. And I don't want to get ahead of myself and be a dreamer, but this is he's been our manager for like 6 months, and we already look an absolute force to reckon with. So, like, a lot of managers come in and want to put their stamp on, and they're like, "No, he's a Klopp player. He's a Klopp player. Get rid of him. Start my own thing." He's just come in and accepted what he's got. Don't think we bought a player, and he's just come in, took it, and he's ran with it, and he's still running with it. And good luck trying to stop him. Because that
And
little
it's
leg is a fucking belter.
but that's the thing as well, isn't it? Like, because it's not even as if he hasn't come in and put his own stamp on things, because he very clearly has. I think there's a very distinct difference to the way we play now to the way we did under Jurgen Klopp, and we've said it before. You know, the players aren't killing themselves for 90 minutes, and we all love the heavy metal football under Jurgen, and now is the time for a bit of calm with it, and you know, pick your moments and kill the other team when they're at the most vulnerable and stuff like that, and it's working its teeth. And again, we've said it. Look, 19 games in, 17 wins. Like, if you would have said that to me when we appointed Arne Slot, I would have fucking, I would have threw me fucking telly at you or something. I don't know what I would have done. It was just, it was unfathomable that we would go on a run like we have done. And, you know, we've always sang for years and years and years how much, you know, we hate Nottingham Forest. I really fucking hate them now. Because they've ruined something fucking magical here. No, but like,
Could be a bump in the road, but that's about it, hopefully.
yeah, fingers crossed. But no, I mean, yeah, we don't even look bothered in that when like we're losing. You know, Southampton, you could tell we had to sort of exert ourselves a little bit, but even then, it's kind of just like you're going, yeah, right, Sad, you're winning. We're going to win again in a minute. Don't worry about us.
That's what's a bit mad about it, because sometimes we're not playing overly well. Like yesterday, like I did actually think if Real Madrid score, I've got every faith in us up on the tempo a little bit and going at them. And it's like a cat playing with its food sometimes. It's like we let you think you've got a bit of a chance of getting away, and then we come back and haunt you. But yeah, yesterday was just stunning on all levels. Like we done it so well when we give them the ball in non-dangerous positions, took it off them, countered them, made them work hard. They were fucking shattered by the end of it. They'll lose in the league. Their next league game, guarantee you, they'll be fucked. But yeah, say the key moments, that the way we played, the chances we created, obviously the first goal, the tackle, the little one-touch footy from Bradley to McAllister, the way he's just slid it into the net, it just all very fucking calculated and perfect on the night. It just looked brilliant to watch. And again, obviously we've had the penalty against us, no nerves. Fancy Kelleher. We've missed our penalty. It's not even that bad a pen. He's just scuffed it. He's hit the floor. But if that goes in, it's hit the side of the netting internally, and it's a brilliant goal. So again, Salah laughs his fucking head off. The crowd sing his name. The players grab him, get him back into check, and then we get the second, and just a great set piece. Just all round, different types of goals, different types of attacks. They just couldn't live for us, and it was pure domination.
Even that move after we scored the first and McAllister ended up having another shot which went just wide. Even that move was just fucking brilliant. And it's like, it's weird, isn't it? Because like sometimes you watch us and we'll put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 passes together, but we don't actually look like we're moving the ball fast, or there's not much urgency about them all. But then out of nowhere, you're like just outside the box with a shooting opportunity. And it felt like that at times yesterday. But I think the difference was with that yesterday and some of the games recently is, like you said, some of the games we haven't been playing our best. Southampton, again, we go back to it, was one of them where we didn't really play our best but got the win. Last night wasn't one of them. Like, I thought it was just going to be same as the rest of the games have been, where we're just sort of figuring them out first half and then kind of come out second half, all guns blazing. But this was just a very good all-round performance, and we haven't seen many full 90-minute excellent performances. Not even just under Slot, really. I think we were going back to it last year where we were saying we were a sort of 45-minute team. We don't see too many anymore where we're on the ball fantastic for the full 90.
I know, and do you know what I feel like when we have been like that? It's been in the big games. We've those occasions like Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal. Obviously Arsenal we drew, but you're happy with a draw away there, aren't you? All day, every day. And then Real Madrid, Leverkusen. So the games where you know you can't afford to make any mistakes, and Arne Slot said before it that there can't be a percentage of fault here because we know they'll kill us. And we were right onto everything we thought they were going to do. We were better than the money. And it was like at times it was like a training game. they were just chasing
Gravenberg said that, didn't he?
It was. What did he actually say? We were just doing the rondo around them.
That's what I've seen. I don't know. I haven't actually seen a video of it, so I don't know. But I really hope to God that he has actually said
It
that,
makes
because
it
that's just
sound
fucking.
real, because it says after it, am I allowed to say that? And I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Someone's been that clever and had us off, but yeah, and it was like there was the times one touch footy passing it round them, and like the crowd never got to the point where they were going way, because I don't think you do that against Real Madrid at only 2-0, but we could have done. We should.
Yeah.
We should have done, because the footy was just. And you sat there watching, and you're all like, "This is Real Madrid. There's Bellingham on the pitch there. There's Modric. There's Mbappe. Fucking Valverde. Like, what the
Camavinga,
fuck going on?
like
That is
Rudiger.
Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Fantastic players were missing, yeah, but they had fantastic players playing. You've got Gravenberg and Jones and McAllister stroking the ball around us. You're chasing shadows, toppling them over. It was just, we were just a better team, and I think it's, I think it's a massive statement that we've gone over and toppled the European champions. Fingers crossed we can do the same Sunday against the English champions, and we're right on our way to dreams that we didn't think we'd be dreaming this year.
Yeah. No, Real Swansea, as I said, that's what I'm referring to them as from now on. Let's touch on before we wrap up in a few minutes. Let's touch on the City game coming up, because again, it's another massive game. Don't care what form they're in, to be honest. This has become one of them games where you can say form goes out the window. You look at it a couple of years ago when we beat them at Anfield, we were in very, very mixed form. Like we'd win one, we'd lose one, and when the season we finished fifth, that season, like, form doesn't matter when it comes to these. Pep knows how to get his team up to play us. We've been the rivals since he's been here. We've been the ones, basically, and so if there's ever a game they're going to turn up for, it's going to be us. And it might, if we can, yeah. But you know what? If we can do that to Real Madrid, and I said it last night. People were saying, "No, Kanate might not be playing. Get Stefan on Chawar any time, and for all I care, like, throw anyone in there. I'm not asked. Like, that's how confident I am right now."
And do you know what? I agree. It's not because of who we're playing in the form they're in. It's because of how we're playing in the form we're in. And I don't think it matters what personnel's on the pitch. I think they're all pushing for the same cause. They're all pushing the train instead of jumping on it when it's going well. They're all working hard, and that's the beauty of our squad at the minute. That they are all on the same wavelength. They're all doing the bit, and I don't think it matters who plays. Man City are in terrible form, but Guardiola's got to say to them, if you lose this, your season's over. He's going to say that. They're the words he's going to say, and that's how they're going to resonate with them, and they're going to turn up like men possessed and do everything to silence our crowd, or they're going to crumble under the pressure. And for once in my lifetime, since they were cheating bastards, I think they are capable of absolutely falling apart, and hopefully it happens on Sunday. But again, you can't take their form into consideration, as you've just said, lad. It means absolutely fuck all. We could be 40 points clear. We could have won every trophy, and I still wouldn't be 100% confident playing them. They've got superstars all over the park. They've got, they get the luck of the draw all the time as well. Got a fantastic manager. They're an absolutely incredible team. Let's just hope that the nerves get to them this time and not us.
Yeah. No, it's going to be an intriguing game. See if Slot's way of playing it, if it can work against a team like that. I think they've got a couple of weak spots in the team now where they haven't really had in the past. I think Kyle Walker isn't the player he was. I've not really ever been a fan of him, but he's always had that pace to save him, and he's been absolutely rapid. But now he hasn't got that. You can see, and it's affecting his game. I think Edison, I'd actually be surprised if he started after his performance on Tuesday.
You know what happens though, don't you? Every time a keeper's in bad form, lad, man of the match.
Yeah, true. And you know what seems to be another not quite as weak spot, but is Gundogan in the middle since he's come back. Like, I think again, legs aren't quite there for him anymore.
Do you know what? It happens. He's aged. He was absolutely phenomenal for them, and then he's gone back to Barca, and he's not quite lift the team since he's come back. But that's why it's hard to go back for players like that who've left with winning everything.
The sentiment signing.
Yeah, and then they come back and they're not the same player, and then fans start turning. Like even De Bruyne's a shadow of the player he is. But I just think there's something not quite right at City. I do think for the first time, they don't feel unbeatable, and they know they're human, and something's gone on where maybe their inhalers have run out.
Need to get our supplier.
I think something's got, like seeing Guardiola the other day with his face fest and all that. Like, I know people were taking the piss out of it and that, but it weren't nice to see that. Seeing a manager like that scratching himself like that in anger. Say it was like me playing FIFA. I bite myself in that.
Yeah, thank God he's never been Everton manager.
He'd have no head. No, but like when you heard him saying like a self-harm and that, I didn't know whether that was a real video or a fucking wind up. But no, you don't want to see fucking managers like that. But hopefully he's got no eyeballs come Sunday night.
No, look, it's City in terms of rivalry, in terms of competitive rivalry. It's the biggest game of the season now. And it's just going to be a monumental test no matter what form they're in, as we say. Like you said, the players, they've got Haaland, the fucking robot, Bernardo Silva, the little rat. Foden, who, to be fair, hasn't been in the greatest of form this season, but Foden, he can turn it on when he wants.
Foden, same. He has a worldie against us.
Yeah, he does. He plays boss against us. It's like he's their new against us. He's their new fucking Leroy Sané.
Lad, I'm fully expecting Man City to turn up to Anfield, try and silence the crowd, try and get a win under the belt, and go for it. They're going to turn up in their best selves, and we've got to do the same. Any mistakes and we lose the game. Right now, if you offered me a draw, I'd absolutely take it because my nerves are shot playing the cunts. I fucking hate them. You just know that something's always going to fall in their favour. The fucking referee officiating list is just abhorrent. You know for a fucking fact something's going to happen. But
that ref was shit last night as well, by the way. Just
absolutely
French David Couth. Anyway.
But yeah, I think you should win every single home game against your rivals if you're to win a league. But with the distance and the gap, I think we could afford to get a draw and it not hinder us. But I think if they get a draw at Anfield, that's the start of their confidence regrowing.
Yeah.
So, got to try and go and hurt them. They are at the minute a wounded animal. I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think if we fuck them, I think his job's under scrutiny. And it does sound crazy because they fucking won everything they've won, but that's exactly why Jurgen Klopp decided himself to leave, because he said he knew for a fact that no one was ever going to sack him because he'd earned bonus points in that. And not that he was going to get sacked, but sometimes your luck runs out and sometimes you're just not going to be the team you were 2-3 years ago. And City look like they're heading in that direction, unless they go and spend 500 million in January, which they probably will. But yeah, fingers crossed, lad. We just turn up and we put our own claws into them, and Guardiola can leave himself alone. But yeah, fucking get them, hunt them down, hurt them. I think the fans before it, again, I'd never incite violence, fucking bottle their bus, couldn't give a fuck, make it horrible for them, make them petrified to get off the bus, go into the ground and be fucking horrible, be right at it. Fans need to be at it, players need to be at it, and the referees need to fucking do the job properly, and it could be a fucking magical Sunday.
It could. Going to wrap it up there. I know we said we did have questions left over from the last episode, but again, this one's probably gone on a bit longer than we anticipated. So, Kev, you little Jedi, apologise. I'm going to save them for next episode still. I guarantee we will get to them, but we're going to leave it there tonight. Look, the ninth part of the 10-step fucking program, if you like, is done. We're flying past it with flying colours. We've got that one more to go now, and then we move on to the next hard week.
I know, do you know, and that's what's frustrating is they go, oh, you've got these 10 games, if they get through them, see where they are. But I don't know whether it's because we've been here before, but you just never feel like there's a game where you guarantee the win, and that's the Premier League for you. But you look at, if we get it, I said it the other day, if Brighton beat Man City and we beat Villa, I thought that was us on our way. I think that was the sign that we could possibly win the league. With them losing to Tottenham and us going on and scraping that win against Southampton, that's another massive bonus. If we can go 11 points clear, I'll be saying it. I'll be saying it, and I'm not asked. Who cares? I'm not asked.
I will not, but
I will. I believe already. I don't care what happens on Sunday. They could put 6 past us. It could be one of them days, and I'd still believe that we're going to come out the favourite at the end of the season. But
I mean, I might believe, but I just refuse to say the words.
No, well, we've just got to do our own work, but I don't see the point in going through the season all cautious and nervy and not enjoying it. You know, the fans have started singing top of the league. Let's keep singing it. Let's stay there, and let's do our bit Sunday to put another nail in, and hopefully a long-term coffin for them cunts.
Yeah.
Imagine they don't win anything this season, and then they get found guilty of everything, and they're just finished, and it'll be fantastic. They'll deserve it. So I fucking hate Man City. I don't think they deserve the single trophy that they've won. Can't knock the players that have won the trophies or the manager, but the club as a whole is tin pot, and I can't wait to see a day where they're nowhere near the top, and this could be one of them seasons. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed indeed.
And if this comes back to haunt me because they have put 6 past us, I am sorry. I apologise. But personally, deep down, I can't see it. I think we're going to turn up and we're going to really try and hurt them.
Yeah. No.
No prediction, though. I'm not giving one.
Normally a prediction does follow when he says that, but you're actually not going to get that. That's all right then.
The only prediction is Mo Salah's going to score. That's it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying a fucking word about it. Like, just wait and see what happens. Get the 3 points by any means necessary, and we all go home happy.
£10 bet.
Just point out
Mo Salah to get booked because the top's coming off. He scores.
Oh, that's a bold one. Just want to make sure everyone is aware that it was Jay that you need to come at. If it all does go to shit on Sunday, not me. Leave me alone, please. Thank you very much.
You don't have to come for anyone, because if it goes to shit Sunday, we'll pick ourselves up, we'll dust ourselves off, and we'll go again with still a decent advantage in the title race. But, you know, it's a massive statement if we can get the 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said, we will be back next week. We'll try and fit one in between the City game and the Newcastle game. As I mentioned at the start, if you are watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel. And wherever you're listening to your podcast, if you give us a rating on there, follow us, subscribe to us, whatever you do on there, that would be lovely as well. And until next time, up the top of everything, Reds.
Up the Reds. Nervous.